The African Democratic Congress National Youth Council has called upon the youth to come out en masse in shaping the future of democracy in the country. This call was made at the ADC Youth Summit in Abuja on Tuesday. Here's more on the report. The population of the Nigerian youth is set to continually increase as the population increases. The population of youth between the ages of 18 to 35 years in Nigeria is also said to stand at 52.2 million, more than the entire population of Ghana, London, and Benin Republic put together. In spite of the prospects that this number holds, young people in Nigeria are largely marginalized from governance, leaving them helpless to counter their continued exclusion. In respect to this, the National Youth Council of the African Democratic Congress held its National Youth Summit in Abuja to address the growing state of degradation in the aspects of governance and the lack of youth inclusiveness in party politics, calling on the youth to come together en masse to sharpen the future of democracy as they have a very important role to play. Speaking on the aspect of youth and the ownership question, the keynote speaker, Barrister Adewale Adebayo, bared his mind on the essence of time, noting it to be the fermentation of the future, and also admonishing the youth on the need to own his or her country, as in so doing can lead to the youth owning their politics and not following politics.
There's a difference between a youth and a child. Youth is not a disability. Youth is like having a lot of fuel in your tank. It's like having a lot of money in your bank. It's like having a lot of time in your future. So when you see any youth in any society, he's not someone to be pitied, to be sympathized with. He's someone to be envied. So this is why the youth ought to own their own politics. If you don't own your politics, you will do the politics of other people. You will not be able to name your own politics. You will not be able to bargain with your own politics, because the politics doesn't belong to you. You are following people to power every 4 years. You are just a tool being used. So if you don't own your own politics, you're just like this microphone. Because I want to amplify my voice and I use microphone. Microphone is not part of the function here. So you can lose your life and die for a politics that doesn't belong to you. And you can easily know when something doesn't belong to you. Your interest will not be taken care of in the use of that thing.
Also speaking on why and how youth can drive transformation, Professor Kingsley Mogalu noted that if the youth do not rise to take the bull by its horn, there would be nothing to hold on to in the near future.
Why we need to transform is because we want a stable future. We want an economically prosperous future. That's why we have to change the leadership of this country. We are 67, the young people in this country, 67% of the population. And like the chairman said, they have all abdicated their responsibility. And a small group of people are creating misery and poverty for the majority of people in this country. And we're sitting down watching. So, the question then is how? How do we do that? How do the young people of this country create a new and different future? We all know that we have and are very, very conversant with technology. Our young people in this country are driving the technological and innovation revolutions in Nigeria. That creates many, many opportunities. It creates opportunities in how we build our communities to be stable communities. The chairman talked about, do you know your neighbor? It's very important to know your neighbor physically. But it's also important in a world of technology that we form neighborhood groups with technology.
Me as a person, I will tell the youth first that where there's a will, there is a way. And it is the willpower that drives the courage, looks for the opportunity, creates the responsibility that builds empowerment. What am I trying to say? Gone were the days where the youth would just sit down and be indolent and docile and not actively participate in politics. Margaret Mead, in her speech, her popular quote says, "Never underestimate the power of a people to cause change." Because indeed, they are the ones who have truly caused change. If the youth of Nigeria are willing to make a change, they have to put their mouth where their money is.
On direct primaries implementation, electronic voting and transmission of results, stakeholders expressed their satisfaction, calling it a step forward to a better Nigeria.
Transmission is a given, something we need to do. It's something we should have been doing before now. It's something we need to do. There is no debate about that. With respect to direct primaries, I think it's something that parties should be asked to adopt. And of course, there is the question of autonomy of parties. And some political parties feel that asking them to do direct primaries will give them problems. But I think that a more direct democracy is a better democracy.
What is not negotiable is the provision for electronic transmission of results. The possibility for INEC to decide on electronic voting. Those provisions, for me and for us in the ADC, represent a very big victory and an improvement on our democracy.
Youths are thereby called upon to come together, embrace and participate actively in politics, as their impact can go a long way in bringing about a positive change in the area of governance.